that we had 29 different job-related programs in various departments of state government. And it just cried out for a better solution. So I called in the Lieutenant Governor, Olene Walker, and said, this is a very important undertaking, and I would like you, as part of your portfolio, to chair this task force. And she agreed. But Olene came back and said, we don't need a new program. We need to knit this into a department, and it needs to not just be workforce service work programs. It needs to be the place where we're able to bring a lot of the other components that make this possible, and we need to call it the Department of Workforce Services.
The vision that the governor had in mind, which is a one-stop environment where people, our state citizens, could go to get all of the services that they needed, whether it was unemployment insurance, cash assistance, food stamps, or temporary assistance, job training. We were the first unemployment insurance system in the country to go totally online. We think we built a good model back in the mid-90s.
Well, of course, Bob Gross had been in, I think, nearly 5 years at that point. And to all of a sudden find out that there's going to be somebody different, that was a bit of a surprise. And of course, everybody is a bit antsy at having somebody new come. But as soon as we found out it was Raylene Ireland and who she was, knew a little bit more about her, although she had worked in state government, we hadn't had a lot of association with her. We were quite comfortable that she was going to be a very good leader and that we would be excited to work with her. The food stamp people, some of the customers, Bill Tibbetts, I think, was representing them, said, Raylene, why don't you try to fill out one of these forms? Well, it wasn't a form, it was like 10 to 12 pages of forms. And so she took the food stamp challenge, and that was early on in her administration. And she found out that it was really, really difficult. But the real challenge with complexity is how can you make it simple? That's genius. If you can take complexity and make it simpler, then that's a bit of genius.
We were going to be receiving a bunch of refugees from Louisiana. We were able to set up computers there and do eligibility right there at Camp Williams where the refugees were staying. We also worked to set up education opportunities for the kids that were there so that they wouldn't miss too much school. It was really wonderful to see our employees step up and take care of these folks that were in a horrible situation.
I think our changes in unemployment insurance to connect people faster to employment, and we made a lot of progress there. Self-sufficiency is dependent upon them able to work and to provide for their families. That's a philosophical approach that those leaders had years ago that continues to drive this department.
They oftentimes come in with great needs, and the way that we interact with them and provide options for them to improve their situation will always be an important aspect of what we do. Certainly we're involved in some of the most critical social issues that our state is facing right now, and for us to continue to step up and provide insight and support to things like homelessness, like intergenerational poverty, serving refugees, serving people in poverty, making sure we connect with the needs of the business community. All those things have evolved over time, and we're better at that than we've ever been. I'll always be most proud about our employees. That is our greatest asset. Our employees from day one in 1997 to 2017 is obviously different, but all employees bring a certain set of skills and influence to making sure that we're a great agency and that we're serving the people that we're asked to serve in a meaningful way.
Workforce Service is really kind of a one-stop shop for a lot of different issues that are out there in our community, really doing a remarkably good job. They address so many different areas of concern, whether it be our homeless population, our refugees, affordable housing, veterans affairs, the ability for people to get education, skills, and training so they can get a job, to help people have some economic stability long term. Even to the point of our Workforce Services teaches people how to interview for a job, how to dress for success. Those are important issues that really translate into having us have a very significantly successful labor force that finds work. Governor Leavitt and Lieutenant Governor Walker would be surprised and pleased with the advancement of their department, their vision, and what it's become today.